With help from the law of assumption, you can manifest the man and the relationship you desire. And by listening to the following that I have adapted from the teachings of the law of assumption mystic Neville Goddard, you will begin to open yourself to fully knowing that you can get beyond whatever is holding you back from having all that you want in your love life. This video is part of Manifest the Man and the Relationship You Desire video series I've created to help assist you with manifestation. Manifestation is an integral component to attract a new love into your life, get an ex back, or create the relationship you want with a man with whom you're currently involved. This series encapsulates and highlights the manifestation part of my three-pillared approach that includes mindset, manifestation, and my Mechanics of Men method. Using this approach, you too can have all you desire in your love life. Used alone or in combination with my Mechanics of Men method, it is one of the most powerful tools in your arsenal of attraction and relationship creation. Repeat these videos to help solidify the concepts so you start living them, and you will be on your way to creating the life of love you desire and deserve. In the Western world, we've been conditioned to believe that it's hard to find love, that the dating world is extremely competitive, that it takes luck or patience, or we're given platitudes like, it'll happen when you least expect it, or when you're not looking. If you found yourself in feelings of striving to find love or competing to find love, then you will want to pay close attention so that you change your energy to work for you and not against you. By using the law of assumption, you can begin to align with the energy of having, not of striving or trying. This will allow for the flow or vibration often talked about in the law of attraction. These two laws work in tandem and will set you up for success, because you will feel and act from a place of having. Your energy or vibration aligns with having, and men are attracted to this. It is the essence of feminine, all-knowing energy. It is the energy of Mother Nature. Using the law of assumption as a manifestation base, it's important to understand that the very act of trying confirms that something is missing. It confirms absence rather than having. Therefore, the act of trying manifests more trying or striving. As long as you are looking for something, you are confirming the absence of the thing. Each time that you align with looking or striving, the feeling of lack is solidified, and you solidify lack, which is tantamount to manifesting lack. Allow for me to share with you a principle that I know to be true, not merely as theory, but as a law I have lived out and proven to myself, as well as helped other women to manifest. By accepting it in heart, body, and mind that you have the man and the relationship you want, you attract that man and that relationship. Accepting is assuming is knowing, and knowing is attractive. It attracts. When you assume that you have the relationship you want with the man you want, you begin to see it unfold in your reality. Think about sleep for a moment. If you are having trouble falling asleep, the harder you try, the more elusive it becomes. And the longer it is elusive, the more you start to think about not sleeping, what not sleeping will mean in the morning, etc. What are you manifesting and making happen? Not sleeping. When trying to remember a name, for example, it is only when you relax and stop thinking about not remembering that the name flows effortlessly to your consciousness. This is the secret Neville Goddard shared using the Bible as his teacher. He believed, as do countless manifesting gurus and teachers, that the Bible is the greatest manifesting text ever written. And no matter your religious beliefs, you can use the Bible for its manifesting teachings. In the book of Matthew, it is written, "Therefore I tell you, whatever you ask for in prayer, Believe that you have received it, and it will be yours. Notice the tense used. It doesn't say believe you will receive it. It says believe you have received it. This is the key to all manifestation. The great error is that we try to get a man, love, or a particular relationship, rather than know, accept, and affirm it is ours. When you desire a love relationship with a man, it means it is yours. It exists on a spiritual, energetic level. It is now up to you to believe it and manifest it, so it makes itself known in the 3D realm. The spiritual realm is the cause. The physical realm is the effect. Let me share with you my experience with my client Ava. Ava suffered many heartbreaks in her life, but none quite as traumatic as her last breakup with Jonah. When Ava came to me, she was devastated. She and Jonah were just past 18 months together and discussing marriage. Throughout their time together, Jonah had a positive impact on Ava's life. Not having a close family herself, Ava had been out on her own since she was a teenager. She had done very well for herself in her career, but her personal life was fraught with failed relationships, anxiety, and emptiness. Not having a great track record with men, when she met Jonah, she was guarded and skeptical of anything working out in her love life. But Jonah was different. He was close with his family and introduced her to his religious faith, which she embraced. After a year and a half together, Jonah was ready to get married, and for the first time in her life, Ava started to believe it was possible to have a lasting relationship. She allowed herself to think about the possibility of being a mother, especially as Jonah wanted children and showed himself to have what it takes to be a great father. But as Ava didn't want to go into an engagement and marriage without being fully transparent, she felt she needed to make a confession to Jonah before walking down the aisle. Ava recounted to me how different her life was when she and Jonah met, how she had softened and finally allowed for herself to feel love and to give it in return. But 18 months earlier, when they had just met, Ava felt Jonah would simply be another man who would leave her when he had had his fill of her and simply move on. So in the first 2 months of their relationship, when an ex would call, Ava would meet up with him and have sex. This went on for about 2 or 3 months until Ava stopped seeing her ex for good. She was completely confident in her choice of Jonah as a husband and father, and finally felt worthy of joining him and his family and being together in their faith. Wanting to go into her marriage being completely transparent, start a new life, and free herself from her past and the guilt that came with it, Ava thought it best to confess and tell Jonah what had happened. Unfortunately, Ava was not prepared for Jonah's reaction. She couldn't believe that instead of being grateful for her honesty, he was angry. She felt hurt that Jonah wasn't able to understand her via her past history and the tremendous personal growth she had made by being able to step into trusting a man for the first time in her life. The shock of Jonah calling off the engagement caused Ava to question everything and resort to her former belief of being discarded, abandoned, and distrustful. In frustration, anxiety, shock, and heartbreak, Ava said she fell apart and would blow up Jonah's phone with alternating texts of anger and betrayal to vows of love and literally begging for him to forgive her. By the time Ava found me and we spoke, it had been about 5 months. And while on an even keel, she admitted that she was not fully healed. Moreover, she couldn't see herself moving on. She was no longer contacting Jonah as before, but she admitted to stalking his social media and reaching out to him from time to time with any excuse that she could think of. I explained to Ava the necessity of being strict with no contact, and we worked solely on the principles I'm sharing with you today in this video. When breaking up, Jonah told Ava he could not possibly trust her again, that he loved her but it was too much for him to bear, and he could never see his way clear to be with her again. But I knew that it was also completely possible that Jonah could forgive her if she first forgave herself and started living in the feeling of his forgiveness, having his love, his commitment, and being his wife. In only one session, Ava had her imaginal act of having the marriage and family with Jonah that she desired, her end result. We crafted it in detail, and she committed to playing it over in her mind before bed and falling asleep in the feeling of her wish fulfilled. In the few subsequent sessions we had, we fine-tuned affirmations according to her unique and personal subconscious programming. She combined the imaginal act practice and the affirmations with the knowledge of how the mechanics of no contact works on men to allow them to feel lack. That this, in turn, allows deeper feelings to grow and to flow once again. And most importantly, pull on the need of a man to not lose out on a love to another man. With just a few simple daily exercises, Ava was able to give over to manifesting. With assumption of her wish fulfilled, she took note of the signs the universe was showing her that she was going to have all that she wanted. She spiritually aligned with what she wanted, and we worked just a few more times on her living in the knowing that she had it. And in just 3 months, Jonah was back, totally of his own volition. And he wasn't just back with words of forgiveness. He was back wanting commitment and showed up with a proposal. Just recently, Ava and I talked again. She told me of how her manifestation took physical form, that it wasn't as she had thought it would be at all, but that because it came from Jonah, it was, in her words, all the more magical. This points to understanding that the bridge of incidents will happen. We never know how our manifestation will come about. We must just live in the knowing that it will. Ava and Jonah married last fall, and they are expecting their first child. Simply assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, and the universe reorganizes itself to align with the frequency of it. It's important to make the distinction here that this is not positive thinking or just wishing things into existence. The difference is that you are using your consciousness to create your reality. And the reality you create, you must feel. You must assume the feeling. You must feel like the person who has what you want. In Ava's case, and in all others, we craft an imaginal act that incorporates visual images, what you hear, taste, touch, and smell. We engage the senses to make it real. As you lay down to sleep, assume you already have what you desire. You are his wife. You have his complete love and commitment. Feel the naturalness of having it. Create a scene that implies that you have it all. Not the start of it, but all of it. If it's marriage and children, picture a scene of you and your husband with your children doing something normal and natural. Not something filled with emotion like your wedding. That's just the beginning. Go to the end. After all, you want a marriage, family, whatever it is, but you don't just want the start of it. So make your imaginal act a pleasant snippet of a day in the life of your dreams. Add in sights, smells. Feel what you are touching, the clothes against your skin, your feet on the ground. What are you feeling? The patio slate, the grass, the sand on the beach? What is the temperature? What do you hear? What do you smell? Play it over and over in your mind and fall asleep living in the knowing that you have it. It is there in the spiritual realm, and it is making its way to the physical realm in the fastest way possible. Know that you are impregnating your subconscious with the seed of fulfillment. And just as a seed must fall into the earth and come up as the flower or tree it is meant to be, your conscious mind must plant your desire while holding the feeling of fulfillment. This is what is meant in the Bible when it says, "The kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed, which a man took and planted in his field. Your desire planted in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind must grow and manifest in your world. But remember, you must stop trying. Trying implies effort, and effort implies lack. Instead, live in the absolute assumption that what you desire is already yours. Feel this reality now. Experience the joy of possession, and let every word, every thought spring from the consciousness of already being where you want, being with whom you want to be, and having what you want. You might be thinking, how can I assume something is mine when my senses tell me otherwise? Well, this is where the art of consciousness and using your imagination comes into play. Your physical senses show you the harvest of your previous assumptions. Like in Ava's case, she held on to the guilt and thoughts like, if I tell Jonah, he will leave me. Then when she told him, her manifestation came true. If she had forgiven herself first and truly released her past, knowing that she had stepped over into her new life of abundance, she may have made a different choice about telling Jonah. But what she truly needed and wanted was manifested by her continuing to manifest. She wanted to know that Jonah was the type of man who could forgive her, that could understand her, that could move past his own hurt for her. It was destined, but the path was not a straight one. While the breakup didn't feel good, it was meant for her good. Now you might be thinking that Jonah had the ability to forgive Ava, and he may have come back no matter what Ava did. In other words, perhaps at some point in her continuing to contact him, he would have acquiesced and started seeing her again. And while this is possible, it isn't as probable. This is due to the fact that until Ava gave up trying, she was manifesting more trying. And she wasn't aligning with what works with men. By Ava aligning with what works in manifesting and the mechanics of men, she manifested in the fastest way possible. Assume and it will be so. When you walk into a room, you don't try to get light. You simply flick on the light switch, assuming there will be light. You don't have to make the light appear. You act with complete confidence that there will be light. When you try to change things on the outside without changing your consciousness, you are like someone trying to change their reflection in the mirror without changing their face. When you try to change any man through effort, you are working on the reflection. But when you change your consciousness by assuming the wish fulfilled, the reflection changes. This is why Scripture tells us to be still and know that I am God. This stillness is not physical stillness. It is simply the complete acceptance that what you desire is already yours. The flower doesn't grow by trying. It grows by allowing the life force within it to express itself. You are the flower. Your desire will unfold if you don't force anything. When you try to force something, you interfere with the life force of the desire. You introduce obstacles where there should only be allowance. Remember that the feeling is the secret, not the trying, not the effort. So feel as you would feel if the love you want, the relationship you want, the man you want, all your desires were already a physical fact. Persist in that feeling and watch how life rearranges itself to match your assumption. Now let me address something that I'm often asked. Does this mean I should do nothing? This is where I must leave you without a specific answer, because this is where, when working with a woman, I must factor in all that has happened. Her unique relationship with that man, her ability to use manifestation, his characteristics, tendencies, etc., and then her use of the mechanics of men thus far. This is related to the relationship, the man's temperament, how long there has been a breakup, if no contact was instituted in a way that put the man through the natural trajectory of feeling complete loss and absence so that he fully reflects undisturbed. I work with each woman individually on what is called inspired action. Inspired action is 3 equal parts of manifestation, mechanics, and being moved in a way that is, for lack of a better word, mystical. When you have sown your seed of manifestation properly and are living in the wish fulfilled, you will be moved to take action that is necessary. But I dare say that in most cases, the feminine action necessary is non-action, as in the case of Ava and most other women with whom I've worked. But generally speaking, we do get to a place whereby inspired action can take place and be very productive. If you feel the need to take action, I hope you will only take the action of manifesting, reaching out to a manifesting coach or to me. That is action that can give you an objective viewpoint, and in my case, will combine manifestation with my mechanics of men. Let me share one more biblical reference that beautifully illustrates the principle of non-action via manifestation. The principle of, before they call, I will answer, is telling you that the moment you desire something, it is already accomplished in consciousness. Your work is not to get it, but to accept it, to assume it, to live in the end. Everything you desire is absolutely possible. If not, you would not be aware of it to ever desire it. But you do not achieve love and a love relationship via trying or striving. Feminine energy is accepting and receiving. As long as you are trying or striving, you create more male-energied resistance. The moment you assume you have it, all resistance dissolves. Now I dare you to assume, to step into the wish fulfilled and embody the thoughts, feelings, and acceptance of the woman that would have what it is that you want. That woman is you. Become her. Embody her. It is done. You have it. Live from that assumption and watch his love unfold or return to you in even greater abundance. Change your concept of yourself, and the man you desire will change to conform to that concept. No need to try or to strive, just accept. Live now in the knowing. Create it in your mind. Hold it in your heart. Use this series every day to take small but vital steps towards creating the love life you wish to experience. As the universe is reciprocal, please like this video if you do, and share so that more women can benefit from this message. Yours in love and light, this is Coach Paula reminding you to stay patient and stay positive. Be mindful, become a master mechanic, and manifest. Your love is showing up for you. Believe and receive.